This man is blind and works at a massage parlor for the visually impaired called Shizanki. Having never been close to a woman, he develops special feelings for his colleague's girlfriend, Xiao Kong. It seems as if, all of a sudden, Xiao Kong's unique feminine scent awakens Ma's own longing for love, inadvertently setting the wheels of fate in motion. Actually, Pony wasn't born blind. As a child, he could see the colors of the world. But a sudden car accident not only took away his loving mother but also plunged him into darkness. Unable to bear seeing his son in despair, his father constantly comforted Pony, saying that the darkness was only temporary. The young Pony firmly believed that he would regain his sight one day. As the Pony grew older, he began to feel the harshness of reality. Despite his father's efforts to take him to various hospitals, they still found no hope. Especially by chance, he overheard a conversation between his father and the doctor. Faced with his father's desperate pleas and the doctor's helplessness, Xiao Ma could no longer hold on. Unwilling to accept the reality, Xiao Ma slashed his own throat with a piece of glass. However, thanks to the timely rescue by medical staff, he survived. After being resuscitated, his father sent him to a school for the blind. There, he made many friends, learned Braille, and received professional massage training. After graduation, he was assigned to work at a massage parlor for the blind. In this massage parlor called Shizanki, 90% of the employees are blind. One of the owners, Zhang Zongqi, is very low-key and has excellent massage skills, making him very popular with customers. The other owner, Xia Fuming, is more flamboyant and has a wide range of interests, from poetry and dance to massage. He can even speak a bit of English occasionally. Xia Fuming envies the life of able-bodied people, so he constantly learns new things to appear more normal. However, no matter how hard he tries, he cannot change the fact that he is blind. When he finally met a girl he liked, without hesitation, he opposed directly. That day, a university professor came to the massage parlor. Upon meeting, he immediately praised the masseuse Xiao Hong for her beauty. Although Boss Xia couldn't see, he had heard others complimenting Xiao Hong's looks and couldn't help but be curious about her appearance. On the other hand, Xiao Hong never felt happy despite the compliments from others. After a short while, Boss Xia's high school friend, Lao Wang, came to seek his help with his girlfriend, Xiao Kong. Boss Xia happily welcomed them. However, the moment Lao Wang and Xiao Kong entered, Xiao Ma, standing nearby, suddenly caught a scent he had never experienced in his entire life. From that day on, Xiao Ma felt an inexplicable urge to be near Xiao Kong. Although Lao Wang was blind, he also sensed that something was amiss. Meanwhile, Boss Xia became increasingly intrigued by Xiao Hong's appearance due to the growing compliments about her beauty. To understand this better, he used his position as the boss to bring Xiao Hong to the office after work one day. He repeatedly touched her facial features, but couldn't find an answer. During this process, Boss Xia developed other thoughts. He believed that since everyone was attracted to Xiao Hong's beauty, he should also like it. So, he began to frequently confess his feelings to Xiao Hong. However, Xiao Hong knew very well that Boss Xia didn't truly like her, so she decisively rejected him. Faced with Xiao Ma's various actions, Lao Wang didn't want to cause trouble in his friend's shop, but he was also worried that his girlfriend might leave him if this continued. So, intentionally or not, he began to assert his dominance in his own way. However, the young and spirited Xiao Ma was not willing to give up. One day, when no one was paying attention, he directly pulled Xiao Kong into the break room. These two blind men are pulling each other on the street. The man wants to take the young guy to a hidden snowy place, but the young guy is reluctant because he noticed Xiao Ma's unusual behavior early on. The colleague doesn't want to see the young Xiao Ma make more mistakes, so he takes him to a barbershop. He also met a shampoo girl named Xiao Man. But gradually, he completely lost himself in the tender affection. He then started visiting the salon frequently, and each time, he only looked for Xiao Man. Soon, a special bond formed between them, although Xiao Ma wasn't quite sure about Xiao Man's feelings. But he knew he really enjoyed being with Xiao Man. Whether it was pretend or real, as long as they were together, he felt very happy. Meeting Xiao Man made Xiao Ma realize how excessive his actions towards Xiao Kong were. Unable to overcome his guilt, Xiao Ma took the initiative to apologize to Xiao Kong. Xiao Kong said it was all in the past, and that neither he nor Lao Wang had mentioned it to anyone. Although the issue with the pony was resolved, Lao Wang encountered another problem. One day, Lao Wang took the bus home and was immediately confronted by a creditor demanding money as soon as he walked in. It turned out that Lao Wang's younger brother had accumulated gambling debts, and the creditors had come directly to their home. Seeing that the debt collectors were not to be trifled with, Lao Wang immediately called his brother, who surprisingly didn't care at all. Fearing that his parents would be implicated, Lao Wang considered using the money he and Xiao Kong had saved for their wedding. However, Xiao Kong was very reluctant. Xiao Kong had eloped with Lao Wang, against her parents' wishes, as they didn't want their daughter to marry someone who was congenitally blind. Despite everything, Xiao Kong chose to be with Lao Wang for love. Her family always thought she was working in Shenzhen, unaware that she had moved to Nanjing with Lao Wang. The couple had planned to save money to open a small shop and get married, but now they had to use their savings to pay off Lao Wang's brother's gambling debts. Naturally, Xiao Kong was very unwilling. After much internal struggle, Lao Wang decided to use the savings to pay off his brother's debt. However, when he returned home and saw his irresponsible brother, his parents' favoritism towards his brother, and the arrogant debt collectors, Lao Wang suddenly changed his mind. He then turned around, went straight to the kitchen, and grabbed a kitchen knife. Walking back to the debt collector in the living room, he started slashing his own chest, one cut at a time. Watching the blood drip onto the floor, the debt collector didn't leave immediately. He wanted to see how far the blind man would go. It wasn't until Old Wang placed the knife against his neck that the debt collector, along with his men, hurriedly left. They just wanted to collect the debt, not to cause any real harm. Because Lao Wang was taken to the hospital by his family, the massage parlor colleagues learned about the situation. The atmosphere in the massage parlor became somber. Not long after, Lao Wang was finally discharged from a hospital. The debt issue was resolved, and Lao Wang managed to keep his wedding money. Life has returned to how it was before. Xiao Ma still went to the salon whenever he had time. But one day, when he went to find Xiao Man, the authorities suddenly conducted a raid. Soon, his colleagues at the massage parlor learned that Xiao Ma had been caught at the salon. Only Little Red came forward to comfort him. It turns out Little Red. He had always secretly liked Xiao Ma. After this incident, Xiao Ma continued to visit the salon as usual. However, he was unexpectedly stopped at the door. The others in the shop told him that Xiao Man had gone out. Just as Xiao Ma was about to be pushed out the door, he suddenly heard Xiao Man's voice. Hearing a man shouting, Xiao Ma realizes Xiao Man is being bullied. Furious, he rushes into the room and starts fighting the stranger. But as a blind man, he stands no chance. This guy is desperately trying to open the door in a fit of rage. The next moment, an ill-tempered man walked out of the door. Without a word, the two started fighting. The young man was blind and at a complete disadvantage. He was no match for the man. But for the sake of his beloved girl, he refused to give up easily. He was kicked out of the door by the man. His body ached from the punches, but he felt an immense sense of relief. After some time in a daze, he seemed to see a faint light. At this moment, he discarded his cane. His face was covered in blood, but he was ecstatic, ignoring the strange looks from passers-by. Stumbled all the way back to the massage parlor. Looking at my grown-up self in the mirror. He finally met every colleague in the massage parlor. Xiao Ma felt extremely excited. At this moment, he even had the mood to joke with his colleagues. He deliberately stepped on someone's foot, pretending it was accidental. When he saw Xiao Hong, who liked him, he didn't run away but openly praised her for being truly beautiful. But that very night, Xiao Hong's hand was accidentally caught in the door. Her colleagues at the massage parlor quickly rushed her to the hospital and even donated money for her treatment. Realizing that he had regained a bit of his vision, Xiao Ma turned back to the hair salon. This time, he finally saw what his beloved girl looked like. Later, Xiao Ma and Xiao Man completely disappeared. No matter how much their colleagues called, they could never reach them again. Upon learning of Pony's departure, Little Red cried uncontrollably in the hospital. But life must go on. Finally, the day of discharge arrived. Her colleagues at the massage parlor gathered to welcome her back. However, her hand still needed time to heal, so she couldn't return to work immediately. Seeing that Little Red temporarily lost her source of income, her colleagues pooled some money to help her again, but this time she refused. To celebrate her discharge, Boss Xia organized a dinner for the massage parlor staff, but Little Red didn't show the expected happiness. Faced with Pony's sudden departure and her colleagues' kindness, she felt very conflicted and ultimately decided to leave the massage parlor. Boss Xia was particularly upset about Xiao Hong's sudden departure. However, he still managed to take his colleagues out for a meal. Unfortunately, the dinner was not enjoyable for anyone. After just a few drinks, Boss Xia suddenly felt unwell and started vomiting uncontrollably in the restroom, even throwing up blood. His colleagues were shocked and quickly carried him to the hospital, but it seemed particularly hard to hail a cab on snowy days. At this moment, everyone started to have a bad feeling. Sure enough, not long after, Sha Zongqi was gone, sold to a local real estate company. After losing Sha Zongqi, the people at the massage parlor had to go their separate ways. Jin Yan and Tai he returned to their hometown to live. Zhang Yiguang went back to the coal mine where he had previously injured his eyes and opened a small shop nearby. Zhang Zongqi, one of the owners, transitioned from being a blind masseur to becoming the leader of a blind theater troupe. The other owner, Sha Fuming, stayed home due to health reasons. As for Lao Wang and Xiao Kong, they eventually returned to Shenzhen to continue working, but they never mentioned Zhang Zongqi or talked about that period of their lives. It was as if nothing had ever happened. In a corner of the city, unknown to everyone, Xiao Ma and Xiao Man rented a modest house. They opened a small massage shop of their own and lived a simple yet happy life.